Hey, I thought it'd be fun to showcase a skip that I found. This skip is on a brutal 2-star map called Dalbychsipivo, which is already a challenge to complete in its own right, taking top players around 20 minutes to finish, playing perfectly while average players take over an hour. But I managed to complete this map in just 2 minutes, using a bunch of complex bugs and mechanics. For those who aren't familiar with DDrace, it's a 2D platformer that involves swinging around with a hook and using weapons and your teammates to help you navigate throughout the map. The objective is simple: get to the finish line by touching both the start line and the finish line. It may sound easy, but some maps are seriously challenging. So without further ado, let's dive into my run on Dalby, and afterwards I'll be breaking down step by step how I managed to pull it off. Okay, so a lot happened there, and you can't really get the full picture without understanding the setup. First of all, this is a Team Zero speedrun, meaning I can get help from other players who started racing at different times that are also in Team Zero. Playing in any other team restricts you to only playing with those in your team. So the first thing that you'll notice is that I start with the jetpack power-up, but I'll get back to this later. Next comes the first shotgun bug. So normally, if a T shoots another with a shotgun, it will pull that T towards him. But if two Ts are standing on the same exact location, the shotgun will incorrectly adjust the speed, causing an underflow. This causes the T being shotgunned to gain maximum speed upward and maximum speed leftward. But horizontal speed is capped at 75, and reaching high speeds causes you to stop until you slow down to more normal speeds. This causes the behavior seen of being shot straight up, then left when you're using a shotgun bug. I can make a whole video on the details of shotgun bug if people are interested, but that's just the basics. In order to stand on the exact same position without bumping into each other, there are a lot of options in some maps, but less in others. For most maps, you can type /spec, allowing you to spectate but keep the same position. Another T can then move to your location, allowing you to type /spec again, so you will be stacked and can then perform shotgun bug. Dalby does not have /spec, so that's not an option for us. The only option for this map is to have the Ts with the shotgun skip the start line. If you have not touched the start line at all after joining the server or dying, you can join a team by typing /team followed by a number. This does the same thing as /spec for us, allowing us to stack 2 Ts. Here I stack onto quit, and then he shoots his shotgun, sending me up to one of Sinecly's Ts. He catches me and sends me to the next shotgun bug location, where I do the exact same thing, but this time I get hooked down in order to not be sent into the kill tiles to the left. Here, I can get back into the map and continue on, but instead, I found that we can do one more shotgun bug if we stack the Ts in the freeze. You are unable to move when frozen, but if you are holding anything when you get hammered, you are able to perform an action for 1 frame, allowing me to shotgun bug up near the end of the map. The rest of the way is just poorly executed standard Team 0 skipping across the rest of the map while I use jetpack to avoid the freeze throughout. So this doesn't look that bad. It's just a few shotgun bugs, then you can fly to the finish. The problem is being able to get those extra Ts with shotgun into the right places when they can't have touched the start line yet. Also, the only place to get shotgun in the map is here, and it's surrounded by shields on both exits. These shields remove any weapon you have, and you can only get past them without touching them if you have very high speeds. There are a couple ways that we can get through the shields. The first way I thought of was to tower 3 Ts on either side, and then have the middle T jump with all 6 Ts hammering. This will give a lot of speed. This theoretically might work, but you need 115 speed to make it through the middle of 2 shields, and you would still need a lot of luck even with that much speed. The other option is to somehow shotgun bug to get someone with a shotgun through the shield and out. The problem again comes to how do you stack without /spec, and this time we can't even do /team since we've crossed the start line. The answer is to use team finish stacking. If you join a team and then finish with the team unlocked, you will automatically be placed into Team 0. This allows us to stack by joining a team, playing through the whole map, crossing the finish line with all but 1 T, and then getting back into position with the Ts that are already in Team 0. We can then kill or finish with the last T that hasn't crossed the finish line yet. Then we can simply left click to send a T straight through the shields. We need to do this with at least 2 Ts right now. But let's backtrack a bit. How can we even get back to this early in the map after touching the finish line? There isn't any intended way or easy way to get back, so we need a little bit of help in a couple of places. First of all, we gotta run through the map with a rather large team. I chose to run with 8 Ts because we need to leave 3 Ts behind in a couple parts to allow us to get back. And a couple of the parts that we have to do backwards are a bit faily, so I didn't want to have to do it again if I failed 1 or 2 Ts. So, we need to touch the finish with at least 2 Ts, then go get jetpack for as many Ts as we have. Then we can go to the side of the secret area with jetpack, and with good movement we can make it back over to the previous part. Messing this up causes that T to die, so we cannot make that many mistakes. This allows us to skip the jetpack off tiles, blocking the normal path. We leave 2 Ts at this part to save the T and freeze, and can continue back in the map. We can then fly over here, but we need 1 more extra T to sit here and drag us through since it's unreasonable and very faily to try to throw a T over the top. Then, with good flying, we can make it past the next part. Then we set the angle of the jetpack to not lose any height and fly straight through this freeze. Then we can drop down to this section, go over to the left, and drop down 2 more times until we're back closer to the start. Now we can play the map normally until we get to the shotgun part. We then finish the race by killing the Ts that have not touched the finish line yet, allowing us to stack 3 Ts so that we can get 3 shotguns back to the start. Then we can just play the map normally until we get to the place where we dropped down before, and we can just play the map backwards through a couple more parts, and we are at the start. Now that we have Ts with shotgun, we need to get 3 Ts with shotgun that have not touched the start line yet. We can use 2 shotguns that we got to let some other Ts skip the start line and play the map normally from here. Then we go and get shotgun for those 3 Ts. Now we don't run into the issue of not being able to type /team since these Ts have skipped the start line, so we can simply stack these T's and give them shotgun by using more shotgun bugs. Lastly, we just need to run these 3 T's back to the start of the map just like we did before. The run that I did was very poor since my movement was pretty bad overall, but this setup is very difficult and annoying to pull off, so we didn't try again. It was very cool conceptually, so I wanted to share so that more people can get into DD race and skip finding. And a huge thanks to Sinecly for helping out on this, as well as the others who helped throughout the actual run. Thanks a lot for watching.